Hay nako talaga itong si Cusi, panggulo sa eleksyon. Maalala natin na muli niyang pinapabuksan ng COC. Ayan, nagkagulo-gulo tuloy. Ito ang statement ni Lutgardo Barbo, siyang Vice Chairman ng PDP laban sa Pacquiao Function. The petition is a last-ditch effort of Cusi and his group to subvert the will of the people, and this should be ignored by the COMELEC. Tama nga naman. At sabi niya pa, the petition may result in delaying and derailing the electoral process and benefit of a chance of failed election to prolong their hold on power, delay in printing of the ballots and processing of the COCs will have the effect. At heto naman, kay Pink Lacson, I would not like to think that the intention of the petition to reopen the filing of the COCs filed by the PDP Laban is to delay the election on May 9, 2022 and pave the way for the extension of the term of office of the President beyond June 30, 2022. Ngayon nako, buti na lang, mga kasangga, pero ng desisyon ngayon ng COMELEC. Ito ngayon ang buong detalye. At kapag hindi pa nakapag-subscribe, subscribe now kung tuloy-tuloy ang ating talakayan.
Tell us about the ramifications should the petition be granted. I mean, as you said a while ago, all of these things are based on time and motion studies, but then if it is granted, how big of a problem will that be, and the kind of precedent it will set in the future?
Well, not to speak ahead of the unbanked, but just off the top of my head, if you were to open up the filing again, then that means all of the work done filtering out all of the nuisance candidates, filtering out all of the candidates who are not perhaps showing a bona fide intention to run for public office. All of that gets reset. So we ended filing in October, right? And it's taken us this long to get to the tentative list of 15 presidential candidates. If you open it up now, you can expect that a whole bunch of other people are going to start filing again. And when they do that, then we're going to have to go through the entire process from day one, which means that you're setting back the clock effectively at least 3 months. And we're not even talking about the printing of the ballots yet, right? Again, it's ridiculous to assume that if this is done, only one party will take advantage of this. Everyone will take advantage of this. Everyone and their mother is going to take advantage of this. So you're looking at a situation where you've started all over again, where you're actually back to October 1, right? And that will have a negative impact on the preparations for the elections.
You talk about the clock ticking, you talk about the negative impact on the elections, but you know, it's already happening, Director. The petitions that you have before the commission now, you're going to have to take a lot of time to delve into that, make a resolution, make it transparent to the public, which we're going to talk about later on. But that's already affecting your schedule of activities, is it?
Well, not really. We're still well within the tolerances for these schedules. We're still well within the limits that we've set for ourselves. And this is still going to work, right? It would be different if you were to open this up to everyone else, right? If you were to open this up to a brand new batch of people. Because remember, right now, we're at the home stretch of this weeding out process. If you were to reopen the period, then you're starting from zero again.
But at this point, people are counting on the COMELEC to just, you know, focus your sights, all your efforts on the May 2022 polls, the preparation for that. But if you're being weighed down by these various petitions, and rightly so, they have these petitions do have legitimate questions. But isn't that taking the attention of the commission away from the preparations? You talk about, you know, a tolerance range here. When is the deadliest deadline for you to say, you know, enough is enough? We got to focus, and you're not giving us the time to focus. Go ahead, Director.
Well, the COMELEC is not a one-trick pony. So if you've noticed, we recently held successful mock elections nationwide, all while these other petitions are happening. Remember, the COMELEC has many parts, and the petitions are just one part of the entire process. It's not particularly burdensome, although of course everyone would love to have all of those petitions done with, but still they are not an undue burden on the work of the commission. And in fact, the preparations for the elections themselves are proceeding very well. The issue that we're looking at right now is the finalization of the list of voters, and of course, the start of the printing of the ballots. And we already have a target date for that, January 15, and we're not expecting to miss that deadline.
What about, what can you say about the concerns that all of this is leading to a no election scenario? How likely is it that a no election scenario will happen, Director?
Well, we warned about people trying to push a no election scenario a long, long time ago. We did say many, many times before that there will be people who will try various ways to postpone the elections, but that's not going to happen. There is no reason to postpone the elections.
And you will not let that happen. Let's talk about transparency now, because we kind of touched on that a while ago. There is going to be a live stream of the Akbayan et al. Petition versus Marcos Jr. In the beginning, there were a lot of concerns about this, the kind of discussion, the kind of proceedings that will happen. But here you have it. You're going to have a live stream of that. How important is it for the COMELEC to be transparent in all of the proceedings involving all of these petitions?
Well, it is critical for the COMELEC and any government agency to be transparent in its proceedings, especially one invested with such public interest. But I would just like to manage expectations a little bit. It seems to me that people are expecting this to be a John Grisham kind of scenario where they're seeing council arguing back and forth. It's not going to be like that. This is a preliminary conference. This is going to be very staid, very, very calm, very sedate. This is going to be just an identification of the issues, an identification of what stipulations each parties are willing to make. Again, this is very important for transparency, but just to manage expectations, we don't expect fireworks on January 7th.
And after that, how many more hearings are you going to live stream? All of it?
Well, no word yet.
But you should, if you started with one already, right?
Well, we'll bring that up with the commissioners because it's the division that makes that decision.
Director, throughout last year, and I'm sure in the months to come, we're going to be talking to you most often. But let me ask you this. How do you and the rest of the commissioners, keep your head above water? There's a lot of noise lately, and it's going to intensify and amplify as the months go by.
Well, I guess the trick really is to focus on what's important, right? There will be noise, yes. There will be accusations of bias left and right. I mean, you get accused of bias on both sides, then I guess you're doing your job right. So,
all right, we're going to have to leave. Yeah,
just focus.
Oh, edi ano ka ngayon, Cusi? Butata ka. Well, mga kasangga, alam na dis. Baka naman, pwede na mag-like, mag-share, at mag-comment. Diyos na gina, Apo. Hanggang sa muli!